as a school teacher, and she worked as director of the Family Resource Center almost full time. And I think it was interesting because Jan was grappling with whether she should do this or not, as I understand it, and praying over it, and wondering if the two of them could get by on one salary, Pete's salary. And the very night she was praying, I think the next day, is that correct? Next day,
Monday, yeah.
on Monday morning, Pete got a promotion and got a raise. They took that as a sign from God that Jan should go into this full time, which she did. So Jan gave up her job as a school teacher, and she worked as director of the Family Resource Center. She planned programs, raised money, put together publications, collected materials that were loaned to interested people throughout the nation. She bought buildings, remodeled buildings, was in on the planning of all kinds of physical plant type stuff. So in other words, she did everything. Basically, Jan was the face of the Catholic pro-life movement in the Diocese of Peoria. She did this quietly. She's a very unassuming person. She sought no credit, wanted no headlines, no honors, but she presented the pro-life stance with unflagging determination. Her Catholic faith was central. We do not know, nor will we ever know, how many people's choices were altered by the work she did. Nor do we know how many lives were saved. We do not know. We do know that she's respected and loved by the people at the grassroots of the pro-life movement. My parents were parish representatives for their parish for years and years and years. They were from Kewanee, Illinois, and they spoke always with profound respect for Pete and Jan Smith, and would never miss a speaker that they sponsored or a pro-life kickoff that happened every October. Pete backed Jan 100%, and he was the one who got her in front of, got up in front of people, and he was the MC, he was the voice. He willingly adjusted his plans in life so that Jan could maintain her devotion to the pro-life movement. The sacrifices that they made financially are beyond estimate. Pete has a legacy of service himself, working in soup kitchens for over 20 years with the Missionaries of Charity. He edited pro-life bulletins, volunteered in his parish. Whenever Pete was needed, Pete was there, always very, very generously giving of himself. It seems to me most appropriate the Doors of Hope Fellowship of Catholic Laity honors two people who did not wait for the church to lead on an important issue, but took up the task of being lay leaders themselves. They embody the vision of Father John Dietzen when he espoused at the end of life how the laity needed to really be the people who started things. And so it is with pleasure that I present the John Dietzen Award to Pete and Jan Smith tonight. Pete's the spokesperson. Jan, you can say something too tonight.
Well, this is a great honor for us because it's got John Dietzen's name on it. And Father Dietzen was a priest that always shared his love of Jesus Christ with anyone and everyone. He gave Jan instructions. I'd served in the Korean War and had just gotten discharged and came home, and home was a half a block from the cathedral. So that was my home parish, and gee, here comes this brand new priest in there, and Monsignor Haas turned the task over to Father Dietzen to give Jan instructions, and he always said that she asked more questions than anyone he ever had contact with. Maybe she was the inspiration for the question box later on. We exchanged many presents over the years for birthdays and Christmases, and one thing he gave me very early was a 8x10 frame quotation by Henry David Thoreau. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. And I kept that framed in my office for years. And as time went by, I realized that this was Father Dietzen, actually. This was him, exactly. You know, whatever he believed, he stood up for. And so I thought that was a great thing to follow. And if there is a stereotype, sometimes there are stereotypes of heaven where they have them playing harps and singing songs, right? Well, I don't know about the playing harps, but I can guarantee you, if Father Dietzen is up there singing, he's singing the old Sinatra classic, I Did It My Way. Thank you so much for this great honor. We appreciate it.
Father Dietzen was very, very special to us all through our lives. He gave us marching orders early on, and so that's why we tried to live up to everything that he's been in our lives. So thank you very much for this honor.